Today we have a Suzuki. Oh, this isn't a car! I ride a Suzuki Hayabusa, and my girlfriend has gauged earrings, and they're infected! I ride around South Street on my Hayabusa! I'd never put my helmet on! I ride a Suzuki! I ride around with my helmet strapped to the back! I never wear a helmet, and I ride a Suzuki Hayabusa!
What am I gonna do when the old speed wars begin anew? What am I supposed to say when my best top speeds are just okay? I'll buy Hayabusa, yeah. I'll buy Hayabusa.
Yeah, bro pipe, bro muffler, license plate, bro bracket, stick on bro carbon fiber, outdoor beer pong. It's time for pledge week. Fist fire, bro. Suzuki Hayabusa GSX1300R Hayabusa. For the straight man who lingers around a gay bar, hoping to get hit on so he can get into a wholly substantiated and allowable street fight. The sneering, pursed-lipped, creatine-mixing, bicep-overworking, how to win friends and influence people stereotypes associated with this sport bike is not the bike's fault. We have to look at the sociological and predatory instincts and characteristics of the feral North American bro. So let us begin our study. It is in the nature of the North American bro to seek higher ground. The bro is conditioned from the juvenile stage to reach for the better when it presents itself to the contrasting the lesser. This, the bro believes, ascends one's social distinction. Whether it utilizes every cubic centimeter or takes advantage of aerodynamics makes no difference. The quest for the better is the bro's life. The industry designation for the Hayabusa is Suzuki GSX1300R, or sometimes it's also called GSX1300XR or GSX1300RX, but for the sake of this review, we're just calling it the GSX1300R. In fact, the R suffix doesn't mean anything. It's just there to move units. This is a 2005 Suzuki GSX1300R Hayabusa, and that was part of the first generation Hayabusa, but after the 2001 restriction, but more on that later. The first generation Busa had a 1,299cc inline four-cylinder with 16 valves, a double cam engine making 173 horsepower at the crank, and that is 18 more than your Jacobs laddered S13 with its KA24DE.
Suzuki Hayabusa, when excess ain't enough.
The safe joke that everybody makes about the Hayabusa is,
it's ugly. I don't like how it looks. It's all lumpy and weird, and why does it have to be curvy? I don't like anything that's remotely feminine. My mom hugged me too much. My favorite novel is The Rumble Fish.
Well, that may be true, but this body shape is the only reason Suzuki won the 90s Speed Wars. You see, aerodynamics doesn't look like what you think aerodynamics looks like. The angry and masculine-proving Kawasaki ZX14 makes you feel like the man Monster Energy drink insists you are, but all that angular bodywork isn't doing you any favors when you go over the ton.
All of these transgender perplexing curves are
necessary for stalking the Hayabusa's top speed, which is as mythic as the bike itself. Right, forget 200 miles an hour. This bike doesn't go 200 miles an hour, it never did. Alright, fine, 199 miles an hour, you happy? Nope, didn't even do that. But I'll believe you that you think it, because I thought it. I mean, when I first learned about the Hayabusa, I was right there with you, spouting off, it'll go 199 right out of the factory, right out of the showroom, it'll do 199 with a stock tune. And I was perpetuating that myth right with everybody else. The fastest recorded independent top speed test of a first-generation pre-restriction Hayabusa was 194 miles an hour by Cycle World magazine. Motorcycle News reported 190 miles an hour, and all the other magazines were hovering around 188. So why the discrepancy here? Well, we don't know. We don't know what Cycle World did. Maybe they put Brad Williams on the bike and gave him a Lycra suit and a condom for a helmet, and that's how they got 194. Well, It's kind of pointless to argue about that now. Hayabusas are restricted. They get fuel choked at 186 miles per hour per the agreement. And that's another old biker's tale too. Those of you who know all about the agreement. And those of you who aren't into bikes, that's perfectly fine. This is one of the greatest stories in motorcycle history. The most exciting version of the agreement goes like this. In the 1990s,
Oh yeah, so 90s.
bikes were getting faster by the year, with each manufacturer releasing a new machine with a higher top speed. How far back you want to go is up to you. Man, I would love to have RCR do a documentary about this, because this is one of my favorite eras in motorsports. The 90s speed wars with motorcycles were so wonderful. If we had the money, I would love to do this documentary and do it right. Anyway, how far back you want to go is up to you. I'm starting with the Honda VFR Interceptor 1000R. That had a top speed of 150 miles an hour. Then Kawasaki did them one better with the Ninja 900 at 158 miles an hour. Then the Italians got in just for a little bit with the Biamoda, and I'm not pronouncing that correctly, you can correct me, with the YB6 EXUP with 170 miles an hour. That didn't last too long because Kawasaki took it right back by giving the Ninja a larger engine, making it the ZX11 that did 175 miles an hour. Things are getting fun now. Then here's the big one. Honda lays down a bike that was supposed to end the speed wars. The CBR 1000 XX Super Blackbird. That thing would do 180 miles an hour. Then out of nowhere, Suzuki comes in. They weren't even really part of the speed wars. I mean, way back in the 70s, they had the Water Buffalo, but that was something else. Suzuki comes in, out of the corner. And Suzuki was always the discount Honda, so you weren't suspecting this from Suzuki. They come out with the GSX1300R Hayabusa, and it went 194 miles an hour. Now, no one denies the top speeds of the previous bikes, but here's where the whole story slopes into heresy. The letter. The story goes that the Japanese government sent a very polite letter to all the Japanese motorcycle manufacturers, and it went something to the tune of, please stop this. There was no government intervention, there was no laws passed, there were no committees. There is this mythic letter that's supposed to exist from the Japanese government to the manufacturers that said, please stop this foolishness. Or something to that nature. No one's ever seen it. The motorcycle manufacturers even deny this letter exists. For people who are into bikes, this is our mystery suitcase from Pulp Fiction. This is the unintelligible sentence that Bill Murray said at the end of Lost in Translation. But unlike the secret guitar solo in the middle of Here Comes the Sun, there's no record of this letter. Now that's a treasure hunt for you. Find the letter. And that's where the Suzuki Hayabusa rises above everybody else. It got the attention of the Japanese government. It scared everybody, particularly in America, because unlike Europe and other countries where you get your motorcycle license, but you're restricted to buy, you can only buy I don't even know what you can do. When you get your motorcycle license, can you get a 250 or are you stuck with a 125 or are you limited by horsepower? How's it work? Anyway, this is America.
Yeah.
You can go out and get your learner's permit. In fact, you don't even need a motorcycle license. If you have a learner's permit, you are legally allowed to ride a Suzuki Hayabusa. You're 18 years old, go buy one. America. But people have a hard time getting over the styling. They're still arguing about it. The Suzuki Hayabusa has a good idea now, what was I thinking later aesthetic, like finally getting off after an hour of wanking and closing 17 unused tabs. And then you shut down the computer and catch your own haggard, rosy, palmed reflection in the monitor. But everybody agrees the Hayabusa was put out as an answer to Honda's Blackbird. Okay, maybe answered isn't the right word. Hayabusa translates to a creature that preys on blackbirds, so it's clear that Suzuki's intent was to kill this thing quicker than Cool Dad kills a heartwarming father and son moment with out-of-touch lameness. So what is it like to ride a Suzuki Hayabusa? It's easy! The Suzuki Hayabusa is like the Corvette C6 of bikes. So much low-end torque, learning to ride one of these things is amazing. For a bike that goes so fast, whatever that claim top speed is, it's completely docile when you're just puttering around. No, just pick a gear, go, it's fine, it'll take it. And it's not really that heavy, this thing isn't even 500 pounds. You could put a beginner on this and they'd figure it out no problem. It really isn't a crotch rocket because it doesn't have clip-on bars. These are just drooped bars up top. And you sit pretty low in the seat, so you can really get your legs on either side of this thing. It's quite secure riding it. But when you get on the gas, I never surfed, but I boogie boarded plenty off the shore of Ocean City. And you know when you get a good wave and you feel that wave just rising behind you and you get it and you feel nature's willingness pushing you from behind. That's what it's felt like. Now, of course, we were riding this in Toledo, so I couldn't jam on it much.
But I want more.
The owner of this bike does take it drag racing, and that's one place where the Hayabusa really shines. What he did was he reversed the shifter linkage, so now you shift up by pressing down. Now, it took about 5 minutes to figure it out, but after that it becomes second nature. It's a good idea to do that if you're on a racing bike because you're going to be shifting up in more critical situations than you are going to be shifting down. And it's better to keep your foot planted on the peg than it is to do that weird lift up, get down, click up thing. So that's why people switch the linkage.
The Hayabusa is a bike that's raring to go. This bike is the personification of that guy who wants nothing more out of life than to throw the second punch. He needs no fiber, not with his thundering bowel movements. He thinks road rash was adapted for his life. He loves to get his swell on every weekend at Planet Fitness. And he orders for his vegetarian girlfriend every time they go to Olive Garden.
Oh yeah, she'll have the veal.
His facial hair has facial hair, and he never licks stamps because the sheer force of his personality adheres them to the envelope. It's the official bike of take your best shot because I'm only giving you one freebie before I start carving your ass like Boston Market. And doing this voice makes my throat very hot.
And yet, the Hayabusa is representative of what people ride bikes for. The Hayabusa may handle heavily, but there's a certain power here. The notion of force thundering under you. For many, bikes provide greater communication with the open road than cars can. Sure, there are other motorists, other pedestrians, and other obstacles. You can't really ignore that. But even with all those other distractions, there's a feeling of being in a vacuum outside space and time. You and the road. Liberated. No bills. No fat stack of midterms to grade. No empty granola bar wrappers to mark the decline of your marriage, reminding you that you once had home-cooked breakfasts instead of bars that are going to be spiky turds in 7 hours. A bike doesn't care if you're a dude bro with tribal tattoos as commonplace as the name Sylvia in Brazilian MMA fighting circles. A bike doesn't care if you're a hipster who measures success by the girth of his beard and the dustiness of his vinyl collection. A bike doesn't care. It just says, the road's calling. What are we going to do about it? Have a good week. Just keep the helmet on like as long as possible and then like see how...
Just like try and make your voice sound the way it does in the videos and they go, what the fuck? This guy's nuts.
Alright, so out that way.
Yeah, just go explore, yeah.
Okay. Alrighty.
If you wreck, I'm not going to throw you. Please don't wreck. Please.
I will not wreck. So I'm going to probably have to have the GoPro really up high because I'm going to be down low a little bit. Well, we'll see what the video ends up looking like with me like this.
Okay. All right, have fun.
Okay, so we're all the way up in first.
Yep.
Okay, kill switch on. All right, so let me just feel where the clutch is going to grab. Up in one. Oh, so you don't even need the gas to get out, really?
Really, no.
It'll just pull itself out, okay.
Well, Japan wrote a letter, said, can you maybe please slow down a little more? But it's lost to history. So who cares what they were writing to us for? Anyway, I'm on a Hayabusa and I'm feeling great. Wanna do the dirty and it just can't wait. Oh my sweet baby girl, you so fine. Let me try my best to pick up lines. Hey girl, you know how to twerk, how you got a job when that ass is not safe for work. Call me a monument cause I am erect, or you might English homework because you look incorrect. You're bold, I like your style, let's get kissing. You got that BOL, but I got the deal missing. Oh, can you be my antique store? Cause nobody really wants to see my junk anymore. Well, What's a wordy fella to do? Are you my student loan? Cause I owe my interest to you. My favorite things are commitment and change, but if I had a third, it would be cruising for strange. On my Hayabusa, we can find some worth out here. Are you an angel? Cause it sounds like something fell to earth out here.